Labelling is the theory that deviant behaviour has the characteristics of a transaction between a deviant person and another or others. This is better understood when put in context. For example, here's Joe. From the first day of school, Joe's teacher, Miss Stacey, is judging him based on appearance, personality, interactions, academic ability, and background. Miss Stacey forms an opinion of him and assesses whether he is good or bad. If Miss Stacey has identified Joe as naughty, she will anticipate unwanted behaviour and punish accordingly. This interaction impacts Joe's self-image, how he behaves, and how others see him. But the more a pupil reacts against sanctions and authority, the stronger the label of problem pupil becomes. This reinforces Joe's naughty label, which becomes increasingly difficult to eradicate. When labelling is applied to social class, an important message of hierarchy is conveyed to students. As Hargreaves states, to be working class is something unfortunate and undesirable, yet the vast majority do not escape their working class fate. I interpret this to mean that students who are working class are seen as failures and should aspire to a higher status to be more valuable in society. This links with the concept of the ideal pupil, first used by Howard Becker. His research in Chicago identified that teachers quickly labelled and defined pupils as soon as they entered school, and that the crucial factor in determining positive and negative identities was social class. He found teachers and counsellors identified more qualities relating to the ideal pupil in students from non-working class backgrounds, transferring the ideology that the class of a student determines their ability to achieve certain roles within society. However, some are critical of labelling theory because it views the student as being labelled as a victim. Goldner states that labelling theory is inviting us to view the deviant as a passive non-entity who is responsible neither for his suffering nor its alleviation. I interpret Goldner's argument to suggest the deviant excuses their behaviour with the accusation of social control, and in doing so they do not take responsibility for their actions. I disagree with Goldner, as he has not considered the effects that labelling can have on more privileged students, as middle-class pupils who are being naughty are more likely to be seen as high-spirited than be labelled as disruptive pupils. This contradicts Goldner's argument, as it highlights the inequality of teacher expectations in terms of class. Another contradiction of Goldner's criticism that links to teacher expectations is the concept of the self-fulfilling prophecy. This term was coined in 1948 by Robert Merton and implies that labelling pupils will consequently fulfil teacher expectations. Although Merton did not originally apply the concept to classrooms, its use can be easily generalised, as he defines it as a false definition of the situation evoking a new behaviour, which makes the originally false conception come true. When applied to the classroom, the essence of Merton's argument is that students' circumstances directly affect their progress through school. This also links to class division, as J.W.B. Douglas discovered when he studied the progress of working and middle-class students. He found that when considering environment and educational opportunity, I recognise that innate endowment may well be the most powerful influence in determining the level of achievement at school. Douglas's study showed that those students who lived in council houses with working-class parents didn't have the learning opportunities and drive for achievement that a student from a middle-class home had. I found this to be true in my education, as students from middle-class backgrounds had access to private tutoring and a breadth of learning material which was beyond the affordability of those from working-class backgrounds.